Hi, this is Jeff Marsace, the Plain English Attorney, and I'm an author, certified Medicaid planner, and an attorney with more than 25 years of experience running my own firm. You're at the #1 place to learn about not only estate and Medicaid planning, but to get business, fitness, and general life success stories. I want to help estate planners and the general public get the tools and advice they need to stay safe, plan ahead, and enjoy life.
Hi, this is Jeff Marsace, the Plain English Attorney, and I was going to try to do some outdoor filming today, but the weather is not cooperating, so hey, we get stuck with the office. All right, today I am going to talk about 3 potential tax changes. This is something that happens every 4 or 8 years. Whenever there's a new presidency that comes in, I end up getting a ton of questions about, oh, here's this tax proposal. This is what, what's going to happen. My estate's going to be so expensive. They're going to take all my money away. Whoa. Calm down. Relax. First of all, just understand that because something was proposed doesn't mean it's law. All right, so let's talk a little bit about 3 big things. The first, which actually would be a huge problem for everybody in terms of estates, is if they eliminated what's called the stepped up cost basis. Now, the way this has been since Reagan back in 1986 is, okay, there's an estate tax. So there's property that's exempt and everything above that gets taxed as part of an estate. Everything below that, well, okay, no estate taxes. One thing that the laws in 86 changed was, okay, if you bought this stock at $100,000 and now it's worth $1 million, okay, it's going to be valued for estate taxes as $1 million, not the $100,000 you paid for it. But at the same time, at the date of death, it's going to ratchet that cost basis up. So if the heirs sell the stock for $1 million, there's no capital gains taxes. That's a big benefit that a lot of families get from the estate tax. And again, I've wrote about this over the years. If they quote, we're going to eliminate the death tax, we're going to get rid of the federal estate tax, they're also getting rid of that ratcheting up of the cost basis, and so many more families are going to end up paying taxes in the form of capital gains taxes when they inherit stock in a house from mom and dad when they pass on, and now they're selling it. It's like, oh yeah, you've got all these capital gains taxes because they bought that house and that stock when it was really, really lower value. Okay, what's the likelihood of that happening? Look, it's on the table, but again, not having a crystal ball, I'm going to give you my best guess is this might be something that gets traded away for something else just because it is such a big benefit for people in those, what you wouldn't consider wealthy. Like if they have a taxable estate, this would be a way to really give them a hard hit. But at the same time, people who wouldn't normally be paying any estate taxes are going to end up paying capital gains taxes. Okay, again, I think this is something that might get traded away for something else. All right, so what's another potential tax? And this is on the table, and this, honestly, this probably does have a decent chance of going through, is, they're going to cut the estate tax exemption in half, so you only get to keep half as much without estate taxes. All right, let's talk a little bit about history. The estate tax was, quote, supposed to go away for 1 year for 2010. This was part of a 10-year temporary tax. Okay, what Congress and the president had done back in 96, so we're talking about Bill Clinton and that Republican Congress, they wanted to increase the estate tax exemptions over time so it would go up to 1 million. And then George W. Bush gets into office with a Republican House and a Republican Congress, and they go, nope, not fast enough. They go to $1 million right away and scheduled to go up to $3.5 million, and then we end up with no estate tax in 2010, but then oh, it goes away because it was only a 10-year temporary law. It would just disappear, and we'd be left with the old Clinton law, which was going to bring it up to $1 million. And it would have been at $1 million by that point. Oh gosh, it became a big panic when Obama got into office and we had Congress. They said, all right, we're going to leave the estate taxes gone without the increased cost basis, or it's going to be $5 million a person. And they finally, in 2012, they ended up with, okay, it's going to be $5 million per person, and it was going to start going up. It's going to be indexed to go up each year based on, GDP or something. Honestly, I don't remember exactly what the factor was, but it's going up. All right. So what happened after that is when Trump got into office, it's like, oh, this isn't enough. And at that point, I think it was like 5.8 million per person or whatever. Let's double it. All right. Already, with the right kind of planning for a husband and wife, they can double what that was. 23.4 million for a couple, 11.7 million per person. And it's like, oh yeah, Biden wants to cut that in half. Well, actually, we're just kind of getting rid of that Trump doubling, and we'd be back to what we initially put in place, which was, again, 5 million a person indexed over time. So it's still going to be creeping up on $6 million a person. Thing is, yeah, there are some clients of mine that are going to be affected by this. The trust that we have to put together to protect that and make sure we're using both exemptions if it's appropriate, that's going to be in place. But by and large, a lot of the people that I'm hearing panic, this has nothing to do with them. So do I think that has a possibility of happening? Well, yeah, because already it affects so few families, and even getting rid of that, it's still a pretty small number of families that it's going to hit. Again, no crystal ball, but my thought is they'll trade away keeping that bumped up cost basis valuation in exchange for, all right, we're getting the estate tax down as a way of the government getting revenue. All right, third thing that people need to think about, it probably is likely that those income tax rates are going to go up, even if we're going back to what we had under Clinton with that top tax rate going from 37% to 39.6%. And this is something that I have done videos on before with the Secure Act that came in really late in December 2019, got effective as of the beginning of 2020. When people are inheriting retirement accounts, they can no longer basically spread it out over a generation. It's got to be done within 10 years, and that's it. Because those income tax rates are going up, people are going to have much more of a problem if they're, I call it overfunding, their 401ks and IRAs, because they don't want to pay taxes now. It's put it into those tax deferred accounts, so it'll grow. And then when the kids inherit a huge bucket of tax deferred money, that's a lot less favorable than receiving maybe a moderate bucket of tax deferred money, but more in non-tax deferred money, regular stuff, your after-tax assets. It's going to put the kids in a better position, estate and income tax-wise, on those inherited income taxes. If the parents are starting to take more than the minimums out, or if they're still working towards retirement, not putting as much in tax deferred assets as opposed to looking at other things that are either tax free or you're kind of paying the taxes as you go along. So again, that's the income tax and the Secure Act. And with income tax rates going up, it's just making this problem a little bit more difficult for the next generation. And parents may want to think about taking more money out as they go along, as opposed to only taking the minimum. Okay, so that's the 3 theoretical. The last one, yeah, it actually is a law that's currently in place, but if the income tax rates do go up, then it becomes more of an estate issue on inherited income taxes. So I hope you found that really this theoretical musing informative, and just realize, hey, this was looking into a crystal ball, talking theory. When there actually are changes, that's when you really should act. This is just a little bit of information on, where might things go and what might be the consequences. But stay tuned. Now, if you've made it this far, please hit that like button and please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you can keep getting good, useful information like this all the time. Again, I'm Jeff Mersace, the Plain English Attorney. Have a great day.
We hope you found that information useful and easy to understand. To keep getting this great information, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. To get even more information more quickly, follow the links below to some of our free, no obligation programs.